and gave me fish and stuff, and I'd never fished. Well, let's see, I was 20, I'm up there around hitting 40, and never fished or never hunt. I shot silhouette targets in the National Guard Armory when I was 10 and 11 years old. That silhouette, that's a man's silhouette. I was taught to shoot at men before I was 15. I never shot a squirrel, never shot a dove, never shot nothing. And I got thinking, well, this fishing, I could take them, that's safe. That's not going to get you in the wrong company out there fishing. So how do I learn how to fish? Well, I'd go in a couple of stores and get me a fishing rod, and a reel and some plugs and stuff. The guy says, you want the rest of it? I said, what the rest of it? He said, you want a stringer? I said, what's a stringer? And he told me, he said, you want the rest of it? And I said, what's that? He said, well, you need to get you a net, you need to get you a boat. I said, oh, no, man, I'm not going for all that. I lived to say when I bought me a good boat with an 80 horsepower motor and a tilt on the motor and got 2 nets before I got through with this thing. You can get drowned in that fishing stuff. So I got that stuff, and then I didn't know how to fish. And I'm preaching up in North Mississippi. And I'm preaching up there in a town up there, I forget the name of the town now, naturally. And I went down to the hardware store and this fishing stuff, and here was all fishing equipment at the hardware. Here was photographs of a guy standing holding up big strings of bass. A lot of them looked like they were 5-6 pounds. And he was photographed with them, and I said, who is this? He said, that's Bill Sharp. And I said, who is Bill Sharp? He said, he's a fellow that makes his own lures here and makes his own rods. And he said he was a game warden during World War II. They put him as a game warden in the service. And he's our fisherman. We sell his stuff. Well, I looked at it, and bought some stuff and went back to preach. And I preached that night. When I got up to preach, I saw the guy sitting right back there in the church with Bill Sharp. That time he was about 25 long in there. And I saw him back there, and I thought, well, that's that guy down there in the hardware. So I get through and go back to meet him and shake his hand. And I said, you're a real fisherman, is that right? He said, make your own stuff? Yeah, make your own stuff. Make his own lures, bucktail streamers, out of real bucktail. And put them together with a hook riding up so and the guy knew what he was doing, see. And I said, well, would you teach me how to fish? And he looked at me a minute and he said, I'll tell you what I'll do, I'll make a deal with you. He said, that's the first time I've ever heard the Bible taught. And he said, if you teach me Bible, I'll teach you how to fish. So you know what we did for 3 years?